Hey there, it's Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto. We're looking at a 2001 Toyota Aristo. This one here with the 2JZ twin turbo engine. And this, as well as the Supra, are the only two cars that ever came with this engine from factory. And so it is kind of like a four-door sedan version of the Supra. They only come available in automatic transmissions. Some people swap them for manuals. We bought this one from auction here in Japan for export over to Canada under the 15-year rule. It's now 20 years old, this car, but I guess they made them from, 97 to 2004-ish, somewhere around there. And this is going to be a post-purchase inspection video. We bought this one from auction. Here's the official auction sheet for it. This one has 146,000 kilometers, and I think this is a good video to watch if you're interested to see how a quote-unquote higher mileage Aristo would be in terms of condition. In Japan, 150,000 kilometers would be considered fairly high mileage, but these cars hold together really well. Okay, so let's just switch that off for now. Oh, before we do it, there's one thing I wanted to show you because I've never shown this on any of our videos before, but have a look at this. See this? You can set the audio depending on the number of people that are in the car, for just the driver, or 4 people sitting, or 2 people sitting. Kind of fun. There are other cars that do that, especially some in the 80s when Japan was all about the electronics and the audio equipment and stuff like that, but it is still a cool feature. Okay, so engine running condition is perfect. These 2JZs are, or 2JZ, 2JZ, however you want to pronounce it, very reliable engines. Here in Japan you would say 2JZ, because Z is pronounced Zeddo. 2JZdo. Okay. Coolant is good, oil is low. You're going to want to change that when you get it. These put out about 300 horsepower. It's officially 280. This is a second generation with a variable valve timing. So you can see a different head on here. It says VVT-I 2-way twin turbo. Cool engine and really, really good engine. You know, they do have a really good history. People know that they're good. People think about them as the 600, 800,000 horsepower engines, sometimes even more than that. But just in stock trim, they're a really good feeling engine. Okay, so let's have a look at the auction inspection sheet. I'm going to translate this for you from Japanese into English, so bear with me for a sec here. It's a 2001 Aristo V300. This is an auction grade 4 with interior and exterior both C. I'd say the exterior is quite good on this one. I'd rank it a B. The interior, C is definitely correct. It has a number of cigarette burns, unfortunately. Luckily, it doesn't have a strong smell of cigarettes. In fact, no smell of cigarettes, which is really good, but lots of cigarette burns to remind you. Also, this is a fabric interior version. You may have noticed that already. You can get them in fabric or leather. This is the same body style as the GS300 in the States, but the GS300 only ever came with either the 1UZ 4-liter twin cam V8, or quad cam, I guess, or this engine without the turbos. And so this one would be more powerful than anything you can get in the States. Plus, if you wanted to tune it, you have that. Or if you wanted to put one of those 2J inside stickers on the back of the car, you could do that as well. I mean, you could do that with any car, but it doesn't mean that you have a 2J in it. In this case, you do. Okay, anyway, so comes with owner's manual, warranty papers, spare key. The report here says, or the sales points, says power seat, toll collection box, original wheels. In the car, they actually got that wrong. It does come with some original wheels from some other model. But these are the original wheels on it here. They come in this chrome 5-spoke. I don't know what those other wheels are from. Maybe someone in the comments does know that. HID headlights, and the report here says windshield rock, chip, and crack. Just have a quick look here. Right here. That's a typical rock chip. And just have a look for cracks. I didn't actually see a crack when I was looking earlier, but let's have a closer look. Now, when it says crack on the auction inspection sheet, 9 times out of 10, it's smaller than 1 centimeter, unless it's noted otherwise. I couldn't see a crack anywhere on it. Okay, on to the next thing. Interior scratched, wear, dirty, stain, cigarette burn, and cigarette burn hole, really. Okay. Rear floor, scratched and dented. And underside of this looks great for a 2001. I think you're going to really like it. Underside scratched and dented. Oil minor leak. I couldn't find any oil leaks, nothing that drips down. And there is some oil on the valve cover. and these engines are known to leak oil. They have a weird sump, whatever you call it. You can't see anything under here anyway, but the oil pan on the underside is sectioned, and then it's, I guess, easier to leak than most single-piece oil pans. At least that's what I've been told. Anyways, looking at the body here, we have scratches on the front bumper, scratches on the rear bumper, and then on the side skirts. In terms of the doors, it's really clean. And then various scratches, dents, and wheels scratched, and door mirrors scratched. So, overall, if I read that sheet, I would think pretty good condition. Higher mileage, maybe a higher mileage one is a little bit riskier, but I think this one paid off. I really like going for a higher mileage car that you can get for a good deal when it's been taken care of. It is a bit of a risk sometimes, but when it pays off, it does. And these engines, I don't really know. You don't really see any super broken 2JZs come up for auction. And in my experience, you know, we've had lemon ones, as we have with any car, but fewer with the 2J than with many of the other engines. I guess in general, fewer with Toyota than most other manufacturers. Okay, so even by today's standards, it's a good-looking car. I think, you know, it does look some early 2000s, but in a good way. Good early 2000s styling. Okay, now let's have a look at defects now. So the front grille has a little bit of paint peeling inside here, in between. You can't really see it unless you look for it, but it is there. Okay, headlights have yellowed over time. You can either replace those with GS headlights, which in Canada you actually are supposed to because of beam patterns. Okay, front bumper has some peeling paint there. It's subtle, and a scuff on the underside there. Down here as well. Tires are from 2019, and they're a Nankang NS25. Okay. Touch-up paint right there as well. Okay, the over fenders haven't been rolled, which is what some people do. They crimp in the inside to put some bigger wheels on it. These cars look great with 18s or 19s. Okay. Everything here is good. It is dirty. Sorry about that. We don't have the ability to wash the cars before they go out. It is as wholesale gets. Now, A3 on the side skirts here. Let me just show you this. On this side, it's not so bad because literally you can't see it until you go down here. Now you can see it. Really not much of an issue. The other side, it's worse. I'll get there in a sec, and I'll show you. Got a couple of rock chips there with surface rust. Okay, a little bit of discoloration on both sides for this. It's like hard water has stained it. Get it out of the way of that car. Okay, the back bumper has some paint cracked there, a dent here. Let's see if we can see that. Dents in a bumper are a little bit hard to see because it pops back into place, sort of, but stretches the rubber a bit, or whatever material it's made out of. Okay, we got a scratch there and here, and down here, right there, and right there. Have a look at the underside. This is usually where you'll see the most amount of rust on cars like this. Spare tire well gets rock chips coming and hitting it and whatnot. Looks good. Okay, going down this side here, there are a few things to show. This part here is plastic. That keeps the bottom half of the doors rust-free, which is good. Older Japanese cars and rusting at the bottom of the door is a big problem. Some scratches in this area, some rock chips. Piece of the gasket up here. And something I want to mention, this is kind of rare to see, but the gasket has ripped here. And again up here. Where is it? Here. Okay. Pull that out. Okay, the scratches here. From my finger point here to just past the door, there's quite a few scratches. They're light, they don't show up that much, but they're there. The same thing from here until here. And I don't know if those are scratches. I don't think so. I think that's just substance. So this is considered an A3. It is a lighter scratch, but many more scratches on this side than on the other side. There's also this, something I haven't ever seen before. It's like pot steel rust on the stay, I guess. What is this called? The bracket for the door mirror. And yeah, I've seen them on other cars. I haven't seen them on this car. Okay. This is the interior option that you want for these cars. Have a look. You can get these with a touch screen instead of this multi-display. The multi-display is better. You have hard buttons on it. You can press the buttons. It's easy to figure out. There's no Japanese really. I mean, there are, but they're useless Japanese things you don't ever have to press. The touch screen's a little bit annoying because of Japanese interface, an outdated CRT style touch screen, and the screens go bad after a while, after, depending on the car, 15 to 30 years or so. And so a lot of those screens have gone bad and they're hard to find replacements for. And if you don't get the replacement, you can't use the AC. So this is the one that you want. Also has a CD player. Has this. You can see the ashtray hasn't been used recently, which is good. This is a little bit harder to click in than it should be. We also have some wear on the shift knob here. Cup holders. Okay, let's do cigarette burn searching. There's one here. Okay. There's one here. There's one here. There's one here. The piping is worn here. There's a tear here. Cigarette burn down here. The big one. And one here. And again, no smell inside. I don't think the previous owner was a smoker. There's also what looks like coffee drips down here that need to be cleaned. There might be some other cigarette burns that I haven't seen. Sometimes there's some hidden ones. But yeah, definitely needs a clean inside of everywhere. And otherwise, it's I guess it looks pretty good. And the Aristo is a really nice interior, and I dig the fabric seats. I do like them. This one has a bit of a wrinkle here. Okay. So let's pop the trunk. I'll show you that after I'm done the rear section. Plenty of room in the back here. And these cars, handling wise, they feel like a smaller car than they actually are. And this isn't something that you get in most modern cars, which tend to be a little bit clunky feeling to me. I really like the Aristo and the JZX-100. Both of them really good handling cars. Highly tinted windows in the back make it a little bit dark in here. But it's a nice interior, plenty of leg room. We'll open this up, we got cup holders in there. And then a full flat and soft here. And so if you do want to use it as a pillow, you don't have a hard spot for your head. That's important for your kids, not so much adults. Subwoofer in the back as well. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a speaker in the middle of the dashboard there. It's supposed to be like a surround sound thing. Okie dokie. And into the trunk. A nice large trunk for the 3-box sedan size. Nice and clean. No pilling. And underneath, all really nice looking. No signs of rust or anything weird in here. Okay. Oh, look at that. That's the amp for the audio. It says JBL on it. Cool. Okay. Report is done. V300. The V for the twin turbo version. Okay. So the end of the report here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. If you don't have any questions, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you everyone for watching this, and have a nice day.